All right, so are you ready to dive into some serious proposal writing secrets today?
Always ready for a deep dive?
You know those training videos you sent over from the Maryland Apex Accelerator?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they're packed with cool.
You're a fantastic resource.
So much good stuff about government proposals and how to win those big contracts.
It's a competitive world out there for sure.
It is, and whether someone listening is just starting out
Really?
or they're a seasoned pro, I think we're going to unearth some real game changers today.
And, speaking of game changers,
hmm
I think one of the first things that trips people up is just the language,
Yeah.
like all the acronyms.
It's a whole alphabet soup.
It really is.
RFQ, RFP, IFB. I mean, I've definitely been guilty of using those terms interchangeably.
I think we all have at some point.
But what is the real difference?
And why does it even matter?
Exactly.
Okay, so think of it this way.
Okay.
An RFQ, a request for quote, is basically the government saying just give me your best price.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
Right.
But an RFP, a request for proposal,
Yeah.
that means they're looking for a more thought-out solution.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they don't just want the cheapest option.
So it's about understanding what they really want.
Yes, exactly.
Not just checking boxes.
It's about understanding their needs.
needs. Exactly.
And crafting a solution that truly fits.
I like that.
Now, those videos you sent over,
Yeah.
they really emphasized knowing the ins and outs of those RFPs,
They did.
especially sections C, L, and M.
Yes. But,
But I know those can be dense.
they're pretty dense.
Lots of information.
What's the most important thing to remember about those sections?
Those sections are your roadmap to success.
Oh.
Seriously.
Okay.
So section C, that tells you exactly what the government needs.
Okay.
Section L outlines the rules of the game.
Got it.
And section M, oh, that one's important.
Yeah.
Because that tells you how they're going to evaluate your proposal.
So that's how they're scoring.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you want to win, you got to know those sections inside and out.
Okay, so it's like having a strategy session before you even hit the field.
Exactly. You need to understand the playing field,
All right, I like that.
the rules,
Love it.
and how the game's going to be scored. Now, I know you mentioned this term earlier,
Yes.
a compliance matrix.
Yes, this is something I've definitely heard before.
Oh, yeah, it's a popular term.
But to be honest,
Uh-huh.
I don't totally get what it is.
Well, let's demystify it.
Yes, please.
It's basically your secret weapon
Oh.
for making sure
Okay.
you address every single requirement in the RFP.
Okay.
Think of it like a giant checklist.
Okay.
You list out each and every requirement,
Got it.
and then you track how you're going to address it in your proposal.
So it's like proof
It is.
that you've hit every single point.
Exactly. No more missed deadlines or overlooked details.
So it's like a safety net
It is.
to make sure nothing slips through the cracks.
Exactly.
That is so valuable, especially when you're up against such stiff competition.
Absolutely. You don't want to lose on a technicality.
No, you don't.
All right, so let's talk about the proposal itself.
Okay.
What are the key sections
Yes, what do we need to focus on?
to create a winning masterpiece?
Yeah.
Okay, so every winning proposal needs structure.
Okay, structure.
You're going to need a clear executive summary.
Okay.
That's your elevator pitch.
Got it.
Then you'll have a technical approach
Mm-hmm.
where you explain how you're going to solve their problem,
Okay.
and the management approach.
All right.
This shows you can handle the project smoothly.
Okay.
And don't forget about past performance,
Right.
showing what you've done.
It's your chance to prove that you can deliver.
Right, that you're the right choice.
Absolutely. And of course, you'll need a solid pricing strategy.
Of course, because everyone wants to know that.
It's a crucial piece.
It is.
Huh?
I mean, it's like building a house, right?
Oh, I like that analogy.
You need a solid foundation.
Yes, you do.
You need framing,
Absolutely.
and you need a beautiful facade to make it stand out. That's a great way to think about it.
But every house is different, right?
Exactly, and that's where customization comes in.
Right. I remember the expert kept stressing that using generic templates,
Oh, yeah.
it's like a recipe for disaster.
It really is.
So no two RFPs are alike.
Absolutely not.
And you have to really tailor your proposal
You have to speak their language.
to each individual agency.
Exactly.
I remember in the video, she walked us through 2 real RFPs for janitorial services.
Yes, I remember that.
It was amazing how different they were,
I know, right?
even though it was for the same type of service.
They each had their own specific requirements.
Exactly. And that's why those cookie cutter proposals,
Oh, yeah.
they just don't work.
They just won't cut it.
No, they won't. So you really need to become a detective,
Yes, you do.
uncovering the agency's priorities
There.
and crafting a proposal that really resonates with their goals.
That's the key to winning.
So we've got our detective hats on now.
Okay, I love it.
But how do we go beyond just meeting the requirements?
Right.
Like, how do we get into their heads
Ah, that's the million-dollar question.
and find those hidden gems?
But it all starts with research.
Okay.
Before you even write a single word,
Yeah.
you need to understand the agency,
Huh.
their missions, their challenges.
What are they struggling with?
What keeps them up at night?
Oh, I like that. What keeps them up at night?
What are their long-term goals?
So it's like trying to understand a character's motivations.
I like that.
Before you can write their dialogue,
Yes, exactly.
you gotta get inside their heads.
You need to empathize with them.
So what are some practical ways to do that?
Like, how do we gather that intel?
Do we need to go full on Sherlock Holmes here?
Well, maybe not a deerstalker hat,
Okay.
but a little sleuthing is definitely required.
All right, so how do we do that?
Well, you can attend industry days,
Okay.
network with people who've worked with that agency before.
Oh, good idea.
Even dig through their past contracts
Oh, wow.
to see what they've prioritized in the past.
So like looking for clues
Exactly. It's all about connecting the dots
and gathering those clues from different sources.
to paint a picture of their needs.
That makes me think about what happens when you're new to the game
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have that long list of past successes.
Right. You're just starting out.
How do you build that credibility?
That's a great question. And the expert had some good advice for this.
Oh, good.
She said, even if you haven't tackled massive government contracts before,
Yeah.
you can still leverage any relevant experience you have.
Oh, okay.
Think client testimonials,
Ah.
successful projects,
Mhm.
even your experience as a subcontractor or employee.
So it's about showcasing your skills.
Yes.
Even if it's not an exact match.
It's about showing how your past successes
Right.
can translate to their needs.
I like that, connecting the dots.
Exactly. And don't forget about your team.
Oh, team, yeah.
Your proposal is only as strong as the people behind it.
That's true.
So the expert really emphasized assembling a dream team,
Okay. A dream.
including subject matter experts,
Yes.
proposal managers,
Mm-hmm.
even HR if needed.
So everyone has their role.
It's like assembling an all-star squad,
Oh, I like that.
each member bringing their A game.
I love that. All right, so we've got our dream team.
Okay,
We've got our strategy.
right.
We're connecting the dots.
We're doing our
But
research.
things can still get really complicated,
Oh, yes.
especially when it comes to the contract itself.
Contracts can be tricky,
The expert mentioned all these different
but
types,
there are a lot of different options.
like fixed price
Right.
and time and material.
Yes, those are two common ones.
What's the deal with those and why do they matter so much?
Well, understanding contract types is crucial
Okay.
because they directly impact your pricing and your risk.
Oh, okay.
So a fixed price contract,
Yes.
that means you agree to a set price,
Okay.
no matter what.
No matter what happens.
Exactly. It's like making a bet.
Ah.
You could win big, but you also carry all the risk
Yeah.
if things go wrong. So you better be darn sure about your costs before you sign on that dotted line.
Okay, so what about time and materials?
Well, time and materials contracts, those are a little more relaxed.
Okay.
The government reimburses you for your actual costs,
Okay.
plus a profit margin.
Oh, so it shifts the risk a bit?
It does. It shifts
Yeah.
the risk back to them.
Okay. But is there a catch?
Well, it does mean more paperwork and scrutiny on your spending.
Oh, okay. So it's a trade-off, less risk, but maybe more administrative headaches.
Exactly. It's all about weighing the pros and cons.
So choosing the right type of contract,
It's a critical decision.
you got to think it through.
Absolutely. And speaking of critical decisions,
Yes.
let's not forget about the pricing strategy itself.
Oh, pricing. I mean, that can make or break a proposal.
It really can. It's a high wire act.
It is.
Trying to be competitive
Yeah,
without underselling yourself
Yeah.
and jeopardizing your profit.
right.
The expert kept saying,
What was it?
do your homework.
Do your homework, yes.
So how do we research pricing effectively?
Yeah, how do we make sure we're in the right ballpark?
Well, you've got to investigate
Okay.
what others have charged for similar projects.
Oh, okay.
There are websites like fpds.gov
Okay.
and usaspending.gov.
I've heard of those.
They're great resources for seeing past contract awards and pricing.
Oh, so you can see what's actually out there.
Exactly. And don't forget to consult industry benchmarks.
Mm-hmm. To understand those typical rates.
Yes, it's about understanding the market
Okay.
and knowing your own worth.
That's so important.
Pricing is a delicate dance
It is.
between being competitive and staying profitable.
And sometimes you have to walk away
You do.
if the numbers just don't add up.
Sometimes winning at all costs
Yeah,
can lead to losing in the long run.
that's true. So speaking of winning,
Yes.
remember that provocative thought from the expert?
The one about innovation.
Yes. the government sometimes uses RFPs to find solutions.
Solutions they haven't even thought of yet.
I know, that really stuck with me.
It's a powerful idea.
It is. So how do we position ourselves as those game changers?
Those thought leaders.
Who can push the boundaries?
Well, that's where things get really exciting.
Oh, I like it.
Instead of just answering the questions in the RFP,
Yeah.
we need to anticipate the questions they haven't even asked yet.
Oh, wow.
What are the underlying challenges?
Okay.
What are the future trends?
Yeah.
What are the emerging technologies that could revolutionize their operations?
Oh, wow. So we need to become strategic partners,
Exactly.
not just order takers.
We need to be thought leaders.
I'd like that.
It requires deep knowledge,
Yeah.
out-of-the-box thinking,
Oh, yeah.
and a willingness to challenge the status quo.
I love it. So it's like turning the proposal process into a brainstorming session,
Yes.
a collaborative exploration.
I love it.
And this might sound a little crazy,
Okay. I'm intrigued.
but it reminds me of something else that the expert emphasized:
Okay. What's that?
the power of visual storytelling.
Yes. Visuals. We can't underestimate the power of visuals.
Especially in a world with so much information overload.
Right.
A well-placed image or graphic,
Absolutely.
it can cut through all the clutter
It can.
and make your proposal so much more memorable.
And understandable.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, like, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
It's true.
So we're not saying turn your proposal into a graphic novel,
No, of course not.
but incorporating those visuals strategically,
It can make a world of difference.
it can.
You know, think about using charts,
Okay, charts.
graphs, even photographs
Okay.
to highlight your past performance.
Yeah.
Or to illustrate your solution.
Okay.
Or even create a visual timeline
Okay.
of your project plan.
So it's like adding a touch of artistry
It is.
to your masterpiece.
It's about making it both informative
Yeah.
and visually appealing.
And you know what?
What's that?
No matter how beautiful your proposal looks,
Oh,
one tiny error can just ruin everything.
it's true. Those little details matter.
They really do.
That's why a robust review process is non-negotiable.
It is.
You need multiple sets of eyes.
Yes. Fresh perspective.
Fresh perspectives.
A fine-tooth comb for
Exactly.
catching those inconsistencies.
Think of it like having a trusted editor for your book.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
You want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward.
So it's about tapping into the collective wisdom of your team
Absolutely.
to make sure your proposal is technically sound,
Yes.
strategically aligned,
Yes.
and just polished to perfection.
Polished to perfection.
I love that.
I mean, this process can take time,
It can.
especially when you've got those deadlines looming.
Yeah, but trust me,
Yeah.
it's time well spent.
Okay. I totally agree.
All right, so we've covered a ton of ground already
We have.
in this deep dive.
Yeah. But before we wrap up for this part,
Okay.
I want to circle back to this idea
Okay.
of understanding the client's needs and pushing those boundaries of innovation.
It's such a powerful concept. It is. It really is.
So how can we as proposal writers
Yeah.
tap into that potential for innovation?
Yeah. What does that look like practically?
It requires a shift in mindset.
Okay, a mindset shift.
Instead of just responding to those questions in the RFP,
Yeah.
we need to anticipate the questions they haven't even asked yet.
Oh, wow.
What are the underlying challenges driving this requirement?
Okay.
What are the future trends shaping their industry?
I like that.
What are the emerging technologies that could revolutionize their operations?
You were thinking ahead.
We are thinking strategically.
It's about bringing our expertise and creativity to the table.
We're becoming those trusted advisors,
Exactly.
not just service providers.
And that's where the magic happens.
It is.
When we truly understand our clients' needs
Mhm.
and we're willing to push those boundaries
Yeah.
of conventional thinking.
We can propose solutions that not only meet their requirements,
Yeah.
but exceed their expectations.
So maybe even shape the future of their industry.
Oh, that's amazing. It's about thinking big and being bold
I love it.
and never stopping learning and evolving.
That's so important in this field.
It is, because the world of government contracting is always changing.
It is.
And the best proposal writers, they're the ones who can adapt,
Yes.
innovate, and stay ahead of the curve.
We've certainly covered a lot of ground in this part.
We have. It's been a great discussion so far.
It has been.
Full of insights.
From decoding RFP jargon
Yeah.
to the art of pricing and embracing innovation.
It's all connected.
It is. And you know what? I think the biggest takeaway for me
What's that?
is that proposal writing isn't just about winning contracts.
No, it's not.
It's about building relationships,
It is.
solving problems, and
Absolutely.
making a real difference.
I love that.
So to all our listeners out there,
Yes.
keep learning
Keep pushing those boundaries.
and never underestimate the power of a well-crafted proposal.
I completely agree.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back soon
I'm looking forward to it.
with even more proposal writing secrets and strategies.
It's going to be great.
Stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is exciting to think about that.
Yeah, and it reminds me of
Yeah.
something else the expert brought up,
Oh, yeah.
this idea of visual storytelling.
Oh, yes.
You know, in a world
Right.
where we're bombarded with information,
Absolutely.
the well-placed image or
It
graphic,
can make a world of difference.
it really can.
Yeah, visuals can be incredibly powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They can help simplify complex ideas,
Yeah.
highlight those key data points,
Yeah.
and even create an emotional connection
Oh, wow.
with the evaluators.
So it's not just about the information.
No,
It's about how it's presented.
it's about making it memorable.
Think about it.
Yeah.
A page full of dense text
Right.
or a concise infographic.
Which one's more engaging?
The infographic for sure.
Exactly.
A picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
It's true.
Now, we're not saying turn your proposal into a comic book,
Yeah, of course not.
but strategically incorporating visuals
Yes.
can really enhance your narrative,
And make your proposal stand out
make it memorable.
from the competition.
Exactly. And the expert suggested using visuals to showcase past performance.
Yeah, that's a great way to use them.
Or to illustrate your proposed solution.
Or even to create a visual timeline.
Oh, okay, a timeline.
Yeah, of your project plan.
Yeah, so it's like adding a touch of artistry
It is.
to your masterpiece.
Making it not just informative,
Yeah.
but also visually appealing.
And you know what?
Like-
They don't have to be complex or expensive
No, they don't.
to create
Simple charts,
simple charts, yeah.
graphs,
Mm-hmm.
even well-chosen photographs can make a big impact.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another really important point.
Okay, what's that?
This need for a strong review process.
Oh, yes.
Because no matter how brilliant your ideas are
That's true.
or how polished your writing is, those errors and inconsistencies,
Yeah, it could be a problem.
they can really undermine your credibility.
So having those multiple sets of eyes,
Yes. Fresh perspectives
fresh perspectives are so important
can catch those errors
that you might have missed.
that we all miss.
And they can help make sure your message
Mm-hmm.
is clear, concise,
Yes.
and compelling.
It's like having a trusted editor
It is.
to help you refine your manuscript,
Absolutely.
make sure it's the best it can be.
That's a great analogy.
And this review process, it should involve people
Yes.
from different areas of your organization.
Cross-functional team.
Cross-functional teams, yes.
So you want technical experts in there.
Of course.
You want your proposal managers
Mm-hmm.
and even somebody from outside the team
Oh, that's a good idea.
who can provide that objective perspective.
That's so valuable.
It is.
So we're tapping into that collective wisdom,
Absolutely.
making sure the proposal is technically sound,
Yes.
strategically aligned,
Yes.
and free of errors.
free of errors. That's the goal.
It is. And I know this can be time-consuming,
It can be,
especially when you're working on a tight deadline.
but it's an investment worth making
Absolutely.
because it can really increase your chances of winning.
Yeah, and we've talked about a lot today.
We have.
This power of visual storytelling, the importance of this review process.
Absolutely crucial.
But I want to circle back
Okay.
to this idea of understanding the client's needs.
Oh, yes.
Because, you know, the expert mentioned the government sometimes uses RFPs to explore those innovative solutions.
Yes, the ones they haven't even considered yet.
How can we, as proposal writers, tap into that potential?
That's the question.
What does that look like?
It requires a shift in mindset.
Okay, another mindset shift.
Instead of just responding to the questions in the RFP, we need to anticipate the questions they haven't even asked yet.
Oh, wow.
What are the underlying challenges driving this requirement?
Okay.
What are the future trends shaping their industry?
So we're thinking ahead.
We're looking beyond the immediate need.
And what are the emerging technologies that could revolutionize their operations?
That's where the real innovation comes in.
So it's about becoming a strategic advisor,
Exactly.
not just a service provider,
It's about being a partner.
a true partner.
Yeah, collaborating with them.
And that's where the magic happens.
It is.
When we truly understand those needs and we're willing to push the boundaries
To think outside the box.
of conventional thinking,
Absolutely.
we can come up with solutions.
That not only meet their requirements,
Yeah.
but exceed their expectations.
And maybe even shape the future of their industry.
That's the ultimate goal.
That's amazing.
It's about making a real impact.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about the impact a proposal can have.
It really is.
We've talked about decoding those RFPs,
Right.
crafting these compelling narratives.
And don't forget the pricing.
Oh, the pricing, yes.
It's a crucial piece.
But I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
Oh, there's so much more to explore.
But one thing I'm taking away is that proposal writing.
It's more than just filling out forms.
It's not just about checking boxes.
No, it's about strategy.
Yes.
Creativity.
And building those genuine relationships.
Absolutely.
You hit the nail on the head there.
It's about understanding the problem.
Yes.
The players.
And the possibilities.
And remember,
It's that.
this isn't a solo mission.
It's not.
Building a strong team.
The dream team?
Yes, the dream team is essential.
So what are some key qualities to look for in those potential team members?
Besides just having the expertise.
Because expertise isn't everything?
No, it's not. You need people who can collaborate.
Oh, collaborate.
People who can communicate effectively.
Yeah.
Share ideas openly.
Work together.
But work together towards that common goal.
That shared vision.
Exactly. You also need people who are adaptable.
Oh, adaptability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, those deadlines shift.
Oh, they do?
Requirements change.
All the time.
Sometimes you have to pivot midstream.
So you need people who can roll with the punches.
Yes. You need flexibility.
So it's about handling the technical stuff,
Yes.
but also navigating those human elements.
The human element is so important.
It is.
And don't underestimate the importance of enthusiasm.
Oh, enthusiasm.
And a positive attitude.
Yeah, because proposal writing can get pretty intense.
It can. Especially when those deadlines are looming.
It's true.
You need a team that can maintain a sense of humor.
Yeah, you need to be able to laugh a little.
And support each other.
Through those ups and downs.
Like running a marathon together.
Oh, I like that.
You need people who can push each other.
Yeah.
Celebrate those milestones.
And offer encouragement when it gets tough.
That's a great analogy.
It is.
All right, so let's talk about some common pitfalls.
Oh, pitfalls, yes, because even the best teams,
Can make mistakes.
they can stumble.
The expert highlighted a few traps to avoid.
What really stood out to you? Well, she talked about the danger of boilerplate language. Oh, yes, the generic stuff.
Yeah, those templates.
That make your proposal sound just like every other one.
Exactly. It's like showing up to a job interview.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing the same outfit as everyone else.
You've got to stand out.
You do. So
Yeah.
how do you stand out?
You need to use language that's specific,
Okay.
engaging,
Mhm.
tailored to the client's needs.
So it's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between sounding professional,
Yes, you need that professional tone,
but also unique.
right? You need your own voice.
So how do you do that?
Well, think about using storytelling techniques.
Oh, storytelling.
Real-world examples.
Right.
Even a touch of humor.
Oh, humor. Okay.
To make your proposal more engaging.
And memorable.
It's like the difference between a textbook and a novel.
Oh, I like that.
You want to draw the reader in.
Yeah.
Make them feel something.
And leave a lasting impression.
Exactly. And
Huh?
speaking of lasting impressions,
Yes.
the expert also cautioned against overpromising
Oh, yeah.
and underdelivering.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's crucial to be realistic.
About what you can achieve.
Yeah.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Honesty and transparency.
Those are key.
It's better to be upfront about your limitations.
Than to disappoint your client later.
And it builds trust.
Exactly.
Now, what about the fine print?
Oh, the fine print. Yes.
Because I feel like that's where things can go wrong.
The devil is in the details.
Overlooking those deadlines.
Yes, those deadlines are crucial.
The formatting requirements.
All those little details matter.
Submission instructions.
It can be costly to overlook those things.
So it's not just about the big picture.
No, it's about those little things too.
Dotting your I's and crossing your T's.
Attention to detail is essential.
Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to come back to this idea of
Right.
pushing boundaries and proposing those innovative solutions
It's easy to get caught up.
in just meeting the requirements.
But what if we went further?
What if we thought differently?
Challenged ourselves to come up with something new,
Solutions that not only address the problem,
but create lasting change.
that's what really stuck with me.
Yeah.
It's about shifting our mindset
From being just vendors,
to becoming partners,
collaborators.
invested in our client's success,
Absolutely. And sometimes that means taking risks,
stepping outside those comfort zones.
proposing ideas that might seem unconventional.
Even a little crazy.
But those crazy ideas,
Yeah.
they can lead to breakthroughs.
So we've got to think bigger
Be bolder.
and never stop learning.
The world of government contracting is constantly changing.
It is, so we need to adapt.
Innovate.
and stay ahead of the curve.
It's an exciting field,
It is full of challenges and opportunities.
and it requires that blend of technical expertise
Strategic thinking.
and persuasive writing.
Well, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive.
It's been a great conversation.
It really has.
From decoding that RFP jargon,
To mastering the art of pricing
embracing innovation,
and building those strong teams.
it's all part of the process.
And remember,
Yeah,
proposal writing, it's not just about winning contracts.
it's about so much more.
It's about building relationships
Solving problems.
and making a real difference.
Beautifully said.
So to all our listeners out there,
Keep learning.
keep pushing those boundaries.
And never underestimate the power of a well-crafted proposal.